I'm Kimberly. Welcome to Simply Living in a Small Town. Today is Friday. Yay. Yay, I am glad it's Friday. I'm glad the weekend's coming and hopefully I have some time to relax, even though I do have some things planned. I hope y'all have a beautiful weekend. It has cooled off massively here and it was like 76 today. So, quite different. Feels like fall or spring pretty much here, and it's been windy all day too. So, but it's been nice. It definitely feels like the kind of weather though that you would wear like pants and a flannel or a long sleeve shirt. So, but it's been great. And the sunshine all day and all that. So, at least it's not raining. That's all I'm saying because we have just had so much rain, even in just the last week. That's been crazy. And I know that everybody is over the rain, just like we are here. We're just, please, please, no more rain for a while. And it's great for the plants. That's the case. I mean, everything is, growing wonderfully. Like we have a lemon tree outside and it's in a pot. We bring it in the winter, and that thing went from being about like here, and it's literally like way up here, and it's just because, I mean, it's because it's rained so much. So that's been great that way. Now, the alternative or the bad part of that though too is like the grass has grown massively, just grown like crazy, and that's been insane. So that's something we got to deal with this weekend also, is grass getting mowed, getting that some of that stuff done. But I actually have some rearranging, I swear, that I've got to get done this weekend, if it just whatever to me, because I cannot, it's got to get done. So anyway, I did get something finished. I did not get two things finished, but hey, at least I got one thing finished, which I'm really thrilled about, that I got at least the one thing finished. So that one thing is this beautiful blanket that I've been working on for my daughter. This is the Gentle Ripples, and I used the tutorial was from Blossom Crochet. I can put that in the description box. And so I basically went ahead and used the rest of that skein yarn, minus there was a really, really tiny little ball left. I didn't have enough to go another row. And I kind of thought about adding, go ahead and start another row and add it to it. And I'm like, no, I just don't want to. I was really just, I have worked on this off and on literally all day, just trying to get it done. And I feel like I've been dragging on it because it's like kind of at this point, it's one of those things where, you get to a point where you just want it done, and then you're kind of maybe not crocheting as fast as you normally would, but then towards the end, I'm like, speed up, because it's like I'm almost to the finish line. So this is the blanket now. And it has gotten long. It's not very wide, which is okay. Let's see, if I sit down with it on the floor, it comes up that far. um, and I was telling my daughter, or I showed it to her. She, of course, loves it. She thinks it's beautiful. Um, Actually, let me show you this close up real quick, so you can see this better, maybe. It just doesn't show up as good. It's really, honestly, brighter than that. Of course, my lighting isn't the best, and it is later in the day at this point, so the day has gotten away, and it's actually already about 8 o'clock. at night, and I still have to make supper. So, but I'm thrilled with this. It turned out beautiful. I was telling her though, I said, she was kind of chilly earlier today. She said, I kind of feel cold. This was sitting outside under the carport, and we're sitting in the shade, and then plus the wind was blowing. So I was kind of getting a little chilly myself, but I had this on my lap. But I was telling her, after I had this done, I said, you could take this blanket and just, do this with it, wrap it around yourself. She was like, oh yeah. But it's definitely, of course, she's smaller than I am too. So, but it's definitely, let's see if you can see maybe how long it is by that, even though that's sideways, but it turned out really pretty. I'm just thrilled that it's done, and it is warm and cozy. This is the I love this yarn, and it's the Lilac Stardust. And I really wish that not only you still can't see how bright it is. I mean, this is much brighter than it's showing up on camera. But it has this beautiful gold sparkle throughout the whole thing, and I really just think that makes it even prettier. I am going to try maybe to insert a picture here of the whole blanket and see if that actually looks better. Because it's really not showing up as beautiful as it is. So it did turn out great though, and I am thrilled that it's completed. I just have other stuff I need to be doing though too. I mean, not today, just meaning just in general. I have other stuff that needs to be done. So, one thing is I have a fence that I started outside, and what it is actually, so where it's sitting is like it's where our water and our sewage line run. So I couldn't put up a regular fence with posts, in the ground. So I took pallets that I had and set them up, and then, held them up while my husband put um, steel posts in at each end like this to hold them up. And then I have taken, so I've only got three little sections. Y'all, we don't hardly have any backyard or, well, front yard for that matter. Actually, the front yard's even way smaller than the backyard because the highway's literally right up here. So, but we did that, got those up, and then I worked on completing. I took sections of my old picket fence from my property where my house burned down, and I took and filled in the gaps where there were pickets that were missing, and I salvaged from a couple that weren't as good. I took the pickets off there that were good, and I put on the the panels. And so I have them like this. I'm going to attach them to the pallets, but I still have to finish this up. And I kind of wanted to show you all that just because it's something really simple, and whenever that can just easily be taken down if need be or whatever like that. So it was just something really easy to do to have privacy in the backyard. Well, and basically from that side. Because if you look across the 2 yards next to us, there's a great big car wash then right next to there. And that is just very annoying because there's constantly people driving in there and whatnot. I just don't, I'm a very private person, and I like to sit outside in nature and that, even though I could get pretty loud at times because of the traffic. But I like to be able to sit outside and crochet and watch my videos or whatever, So, yeah, I've just got 3 of these pallets up. and in between there's one, and then we have the blueberry bush that we transplanted from the other property and brought over here. And then I have two more on the other side of it, which basically that blocks, because, well, on the other end too we have grapes, so you can't really see, because the grapevines are like huge that are out there. And then also our neighbors have a trampoline kind of that blocks the view there. So anyway, this is going to work out good. I need to get back to this. I got paint, because I'm going to spray paint the pallets before I attach the picket fence panels to them. So I will probably be showing you that maybe next week or something like that. And, well, I should have the two. I'm going to work on the two next week, because I have two complete panels right now. I've got a third, the picket fence panels. The third one, I got to do a little bit of work to it, because I need like 4 more pickets to put on that. But that worked out great to clean. It cleaned all that up out of my yard, and this was stuff I was already planning on doing. I just hadn't gotten around to, because, y'all, I'm serious when I say, like, I probably have like 1,000,001 projects, like, always, some really small, but some small parts of bigger projects and things. It's just a lot. So, but I would like to show you that. I just thought it was something neat and cute. And what I'd like to have is some, well, on the other side of the two, we have a blackberry bush. So I'd like to have, though, behind those two pallets, like maybe some climbing flowers, like maybe some clematis or something like that. I had a beautiful clematis at the other property, but that got destroyed. So it's a whole nother story. Pretty much all the flowers that I had a huge beautiful rose bush. I am going to bring this up for a minute, because it actually goes into something else I'm going to tell you. But I had a beautiful rose bush at the corner of the yard when you pulled in the driveway. And my husband, it's funny because we're like on the same page. I told him years ago, I said, I don't love to buy like live cut fresh flowers, because they die. Whereas, if you buy something in a pot, then you can plant it and keep it, and I like that better. And so that is one thing that hung in his mind. And so usually when he buys me flowers, that's how he buys me flowers. So he bought me a rose bush, and he said, as long as our love is alive, that rose bush will thrive and grow. If our love dies, then the rose bush will too. This is I remember thinking, wow, that's interesting, like that he would even say that. Sometimes he says things, that really totally surprise me like that. But the rose bush, it was this little tiny, like in a pot, planted it. It got to the point, it was like literally this tall. And I mean, it had so many beautiful roses, blooming out of it every year, that were really pretty pink color. Well, it ended up getting destroyed. It was no fault of mine or my family's or anything like that. It's just another situation that happened. But nonetheless, the reason why I'm bringing that up is because actually today is August 1st. So we're already starting August. But my husband tends to forget things like very easily. It doesn't matter if it's an important date or not. I messaged him while he was at work last night, and I said, do you know what tomorrow, well, no, I said, do you remember what tomorrow is? He said, yeah. Well, actually, he said, yes, happy anniversary. So today is our anniversary. He is at work. We didn't do anything for it, but I'm planning on like for us to go out like next weekend, just once we get past some stuff coming up this week and that. So I just thought that was, well, the fact that he remembered is a big thing because with his ADHD, um, remembering things is, uh, like day to day things. Like the car key, his wallet, just, it's like usually always the same things. But even things I've told him, he'll swear I didn't tell him. But dates, he's really bad. Dates and like addresses and things like that. He's horribly bad remembering. So the fact that he literally actually remembered blew my mind because usually now his mom always remembers is what's funny, but he doesn't. So anyway, yeah, I thought that was really sweet that and funny that he did remember. So we're celebrating another year, and it's hard to believe, really, truly. That makes, well, we've been married now 8 years and been together 9 years. So it's hard to believe, and sometimes it feels like it's been 20 years, and sometimes, it feels like, wasn't that just a few years ago? I don't know. So I just wanted to add that little tidbit in there. But I'm happy the blanket is done. And I can move on then to, I'm going to finish the stroll purse. And I might even show you that tomorrow if I get it done because really, I'm on round like, I think 14 on it. I could have showed you that, but it's laying over there in the chair. Um, but I probably will have that done. That's what I was already thinking anyway. I'll probably have that done tomorrow. It's it's about this big now, so it's getting to be a decent size. But really, that's just, it's like you're just, once you get to like, I think it's row 9 or whatever, you're just basically, it's like kind of like doing a granny square basically, and you're just going around and around and around till you get to like row, I think 30 or less, because obviously you don't have to go to row 30. And Cinnamon Stitches, when she did it, she didn't go that far. I'm actually going to go back and look at her video because I'm like, yeah, well, I know she stopped it early because she said something about it was big enough or something. So I'm thinking I'm just going to go back and refer to see where she stopped, and because I liked the one that she did. So I will see you in the next one. I got to get dinner going, and I hope you have a beautiful weekend. Thank you so much for watching. I truly do appreciate it so very much. Love y'all now, and bye. God bless.